The laughter stopped the moment the mater d' pointed his finger at her. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but this establishment has a dress code. And, well," his eyes flicked toward her brown-skinned children, their bright smiles fading as whispers rippled through the restaurant. "People like us?" she asked quietly, her voice trembling. The air thickened with embarrassment, but not his. It was hers. And as security approached to escort them out, little Maya clutched her mother's hand and asked, "Mom, did we do something bad?" "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you were watching from. I love knowing who is listening." The woman's name was Angela Carter. Once a nurse, now a single mother of two. She had saved for months to bring her kids to Le Dauphin, one of the city's most prestigious restaurants. She wanted them to experience something different: elegance, grace, the feeling that they belonged anywhere. But that night, as they were pushed out into the rain, Angela's dream shattered. They walked home in silence. The lights of passing cars blurred through tears on the windows of the city bus. Angela's youngest, Miles, leaned against her shoulder and whispered, "One day, I'll buy you that dinner, Mama." Angela smiled faintly. "Maybe one day, baby. Maybe one day." Years passed and the world kept turning, but Angela never forgot that night. Every humiliation, every dismissive glance became fuel. She worked double shifts, studied at night, and refused to let bitterness consume her. "Success," she used to whisper to herself, "is the sweetest reply." While others saw only a nurse, Angela saw an entrepreneur in the making. She began catering small events from her tiny kitchen: birthdays, retirements, church dinners. Her food spoke for her: soulful, elegant, unforgettable. Soon, her reputation spread beyond the neighborhood. One client led to another, then to a citywide food expo where she met a quiet investor named Mr. Hughes. "Your cooking," he told her, "after tasting her smoked rosemary salmon, feels like home and heaven in one bite. Ever thought about owning a restaurant?" She laughed softly, remembering the night she'd been kicked out of one. "Yes," she said, "but not just any restaurant, the right one." It took years of relentless work, late nights, rejections, and faith. But finally, Angela's dream came to life: the Velvet Spoon, a fine dining restaurant that celebrated both elegance and soul. Mahogany tables, gold-rimmed plates, live piano in the corner. It wasn't just luxury, it was warmth, wrapped in grace. Her restaurant became a sensation. Critics raved about a new standard in hospitality. People of all backgrounds came: black, white, rich, working class, all greeted with the same genuine smile. Angela made sure of it. But fate, as it often does, had one final twist waiting. One Friday night, the Velvet Spoon buzzed with conversation and soft jazz. Angela was reviewing reservations when her new hostess rushed over. "Miss Carter, you need to see this. There's a man at the door. Says he used to work at Le Dauphin. He looks nervous." Angela's heart skipped. The past had come knocking. She turned, and there he was. The same mater d' who'd humiliated her years ago, now older, his once perfect posture bent, his confidence faded. He held his hat in trembling hands. "Mrs. Carter," he began, voice cracking, I don't know if you remember me. I used to work at Le Dauphin. Times have been hard. I saw your ad for a mater d'. I'm looking for work." The restaurant fell into a hush. Servers paused mid-step, guests turned their heads. The irony was sharp as a knife. The man who threw her out was now asking to be let in. Angela could feel every pair of eyes on her. Part of her wanted to walk away, to remind him of how small he made her feel. But then she saw his trembling hands, the desperation in his eyes, and she remembered her son's words: "One day, I'll buy you that dinner, Mama." She took a deep breath. "I do remember you," she said softly. "You made my children cry." He bowed his head. "I was wrong. Deeply wrong. I can't undo it, but I need a chance to start over." For a long moment, silence hung like smoke. Then Angela did something no one expected. She reached out her hand. "Everyone deserves a second chance. You're hired, but this time you'll serve with kindness." A murmur swept through the crowd, and then applause. Genuine, heartfelt applause that filled the room with warmth. That night, as Angela walked through her restaurant, she paused by the window where rain tapped softly against the glass. The reflection staring back at her was in tea, just a successful woman. It was a survivor who had turned pain into purpose. She whispered to herself, "We don't rise by revenge. We rise by grace." Months later, the Velvet Spoon received an award for excellence in diversity and hospitality. During the ceremony, Angela stood on stage, her children now grown in the audience. The Mater D she once forgave worked proudly beside her, greeting guests with the respect he once lacked. And when asked what inspired her journey, Angela smiled and said, "Because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back." The lights dimmed. The applause swelled, and for a moment, she could almost hear the echo of that long-ago night. But this time, the whispers weren't of judgment, they were of admiration.
Ow.
From rain to radiance, from rejection to redemption, Angela Carter had not just owned a restaurant, she had rewritten the story. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that dignity can't be denied, only delayed. Comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more powerful true life stories that prove one simple truth. No door can stay closed forever, not when your heart is open.